Hey folks! Welcome back to Let's Play Jade Cocoon! In our last episode, we found a poacher who decided to try and steal our minions, even though scavenging this fossil probably would have made him some more money. Either way, we beat him up and we took his stuff like a cool guy. I don't remember what Ikari powder does. Probably not important, because I never use that many support items in battle. It's always the healing items. Oh, hello. That was rude, ambushing me on the edge of the screen like that. Oh my! This is a tricky one. If I go for type advantage over one, I'm at a disadvantage against the other. Now the Earth one is probably the stronger of the two, because it has more HP, so I'm going to go with Trish. Because she's neither at an advantage or a disadvantage, but whatever that green jar thing can do, Trish can withstand it. Oh, Trish can also do this. The green turtles that we found in the Dragonfly Forest, they weren't trying to turn her to stone, they were doing a hit-all attack. It just never registered with me, because I can only ever send out one minion at a time. Now sadly, we only have enough mana to do it twice. But Trish's forte continues to be her regular attacks, but it's a good way of putting a huge dent in the enemy HP. And I'm sure her mana capacity will go up as her levels do. Oh, unrelated to that, but related to this fight, as of this fight, we have now seen all the components that are required to make one of the hidden monsters. Now there are 2 hidden monsters in the game, and you have to get them by merging 4 minions with specific characteristics in a specific order. And one of the minions requires a barrel-shaped body, and this guy over here, he is a prime example. Now I'm not going to make the hidden monsters in my main playthrough, because they are pretty powerful, and they have unique models and skins, so it's interesting to see them, but they each have specific names, and I kinda like using names of my own. If that makes sense. But I'll put the hidden guys in a special video at the end, like a DVD bonus or something. Okay, now we have a mystical tablet. Oh, now that's handy. I'll give that back to the Mother Spirit when I'm done exploring this bit of the forest. And that is the most hippie thing that I have ever said. And that includes a recent video where I said I wanted to name my kids Summer and that I like tie-dye. Yeah, and see, this is more like it. I will take on 2 of you guys at once. Now, I don't know about catching you and using you for merging, because frankly, the guys with barrel-shaped bodies always mess up the character models, but who knows? I mean, I never used this kind of minion when I played the game as a teenager either, because they just look kind of goofy. Like, I'd use them for silk or spare parts, but I could never see myself gearing up for battle with a hopping keg. Maybe I should suck it up and use the silly-looking monster, because the top entrant is taking a beating and he's still going strong. And you know, I love the way that the minions turn to face the guy who is about to attack them. Especially when there's 2 of them. I don't know why, it just looks so polite or expectant, like he's turning to go, "Oh, I'm sorry, you were saying?" I know it's because they only made 1 set of recoil animations, but it still looks like it's a polite and formal duel. I'm starting to think that maybe I should have tagged in Levant and let him catch number 1 before I started work on number 2. That said, they're not doing a great deal of damage to nobody. If they can even hit him at all. I mean, best guess, from what I have seen, these guys have good physical defense, but low speed. And I suddenly get the feeling that random battles in this game are basically entrance exams, that the monsters are trying their best to make me notice them, and if they do well enough, they're on the team. They failed, by the way. Everyone knows the best way to get me to notice you is with chocolates, or unnecessary NES references, which are totally rad. Yep, that just happened. Best entrance exam I ever had, a fire alarm went off right in the middle, so we all had to evacuate. And all the teachers were stood around demanding we not share the answers or discuss things, but clearly it didn't work. So in the end, they said we had to put a line under the point we'd reached on our own, and everything else, the bit we'd all helped one another with, that would get half marks. Except they explain their marking scheme in its entirety, so we all cheated. Like, they put way too much faith in us. Or, more accurately, they put too much emphasis on us getting good grades as opposed to teaching us. So, hey, swings and roundabouts, am I right? Man, I should have left that fight in the video instead of the first one, because that was awesome and it went about half the speed. And nobody got a level. Good job. Now, excuse me a moment while I refill some MP. I don't know if I'm going to be replacing my team members necessarily, but I do know that I want to tweak them and give them some more mana, because it's going to be a pain to keep refilling them as we hit the 4th forest. Or even as we keep going through this one. Bod doesn't need a mana boost. Look at that recovery. Generally speaking, the amount your minion recovers depends on their stats. Again, high attack gets you more HP, high magic gets you MP. And if you think about it, that is a good way of encouraging specialist characters. Strength grants you strength, magic gives you magic. It's a very good way of specifically building a tank or a healer or what have you. I'm gonna fight this guy. I sometimes think that my specializing in this game causes more problems than it solves. And not because of how that fight went, mind you, but you might have noticed that the element layout in the forests has become more varied as we have gone through the game and explored... Nope, hold that thought, because it's time for another one of the forest people. I seem to recall that one of the 4 wants you to give him his spear or a bone or something along those lines that you just pick up lying around the forest. This guy still isn't the guy we're looking for, I don't think. We were told to find Yamu, and this guy's name is... Close? But RPG rules say we have to find an NPC whose name is an exact match. Yeah, sure, why not? I don't remember a ring, but the option is there, so... yeah. Oh, Mabu's gonna be mad. I know I would be. I've got 2 rings that belong to my Nan, and I do intend to give them to someone one day. But if that someone just handed them over to the spirit of greed, I'd be kinda mad at them. And that's why I kept them to myself for now. That, and I am occasionally an incredibly bad judge of character because of my naivety. Oh, and he wants more treasure. That is the best way to do negotiations. I might know the location if you pay me. And he does know the location. Never said he'd tell us what it was, so now he gets more money. I like the way he's written, though. It looks like a stutter.
Follow me.
I mean, I think it's more that he can't believe that he's getting away with this. That he's tricking a demon hunter like us. I thought we were meant to keep our shackles. Those being the obligation to protect the people around us. It sounds sinister.
Our mouths are cursed with
Oh, that could mean.
Our hands.
And has the game skipped a bit? There's usually some gameplay bits between those holy passages. Unless the Act of Gehenna was like the New Testament, this is the second act of the game, Mabu is not looking so great. And this is a good example of emergent narrative, or showing but not telling. Levant's mother used to do the purification magic, and she's fine. Presumably, Garai used to do it, and she's fine. She's really spry for an old lady. But Mabu, who's a young girl who was thrown into this and just expected to cope with it, she's falling apart because of her magic. Even worse, nobody knows about it. The shopkeeper's dialogue says that Mabu looks great now that she's starting to accessorize, and she really must share her tips. Like, everybody is oblivious to what the magic is doing to her, but she still can't stop doing it because everybody will die if she does. Yubara, are you going to cut off my poignant ramblings with a really stupid plan to make yourself look better than Garai? Is that what this is? Yep, there it is. What a stupid plan. Especially since her holy book includes tales of people trying to defy the gods and causing everything wrong with this world. Thankfully, the chief seems to know what he's doing, both with regards to the holy book and the fact that the last time this happened, the village in question was just wiped off the map. And I kind of feel like this situation is one that could only come about because Levant is a silent protagonist. I mean, realistically, I could step in and say, hey, this is a really stupid idea. The demons are already super mad at us and incredibly dangerous. But I can't. And Jibara knows the right words to get the chief on her side. So... I mean, is there some rule that says the advisor to the king has to be a conniving, megalomaniacal jerk? Because all the viziers that I can think of are evil, like Jafar or... what's it? Yakra from Chrono Trigger. Okay, back up. Did Jibara say she was a descendant of the priestesses at Gehenna Pale? The place where this exact plot played out and everyone died because of it? Which one of you guys picked up the idiot ball and decided this was a good idea? Although, as much as I pick on her, she brings up an interesting thought experiment. If you were God, however you perceive such a thing to exist, would you be happier if your favourite creation worshipped you without thought, or used the brains you'd given them and turned away from you? Answers on a postcard. I'm kind of sad I was talking during that last scene, because I wanted to get hyped for us getting the championship belt, doing a good old JR Jim Ross territory, but the chance has gone. So yeah, what is the deal with Jibara and why is she a dick to everyone? And yeah, see? The advisor to the king. It's pretty much a role whose job description might as well include professional backstabbing and advanced chicanery. Bonus points awarded for doublespeak. Now I think if you ask about the Divine Tree, then Garai gives you another folktale. Not important game-wise, so I won't be hearing that this time round. And we've got some more game to play. But before we do that, let's actually check in on Mabu, see how she's doing. Oh yeah! We did give away your family heirloom, didn't we? And you know something? The fact that she's suffering for us and the way her model and portrait look just ruined? I feel like such a dick. We'll fix it, I'm sure. In any case, I'm going to do a bit of team management, and we will be right back. Okay, so I made my way back to the hut that we found. The woman inside wants the Divine Tablet, and now that we have the Divine Tablet, we can do our thing. So how's it going, Dust Bunny? I brought you the thing. Wait, what? I didn't say anything about the tree. Man, have I locked out the option to give you the tablet now that we've done the previous scene? Yeah, it looks like I have. Well, sorry guys, I did not know that. Man, first I give away Mabu's ring, now I keep the Sacred Stone to myself. I am the worst hero. It's a key item too, so that's going to stay in our inventory for the entire rest of the game. And in fact, I'm reminded of Silent Hill 3. Hands up if you thought I was going to say Silent Hill 2. Come on, admit it. There's a bit in Silent Hill 3 you have to solve a puzzle by putting books next to each other and reading a code off the spines. But you don't need to use all the books to solve the puzzle. And the books pass through every item removal check in the game. So you've got this scenario where you're having a huge climactic showdown against God, and you've got a copy of Shakespeare's greatest hits in your back pocket. Oh, it's you. In fact, it was 2 of him. And that's lucky because... yeah, look at that huge EXP boost that Lionheart got. Something you'll notice, the leveling up system kind of bottoms out after a while. I suppose it's like that in most RPGs, but Jade Cocoon just... you play it a bit, and then it's like you hit a wall, you know? There's a particular kind of JRPG that does just stop giving you experience once you hit the level cap for the boss. I want to say Rune Factory does it, but I'm probably wrong. Either way, Jade Cocoon is not that kind of RPG. You still get your bonuses for leveling up, it just stops being worth it once you're strong enough. Now, I'm going to explore a little bit, because I could swear that there is a 4th member of the family somewhere here in the forest. It's the... oh hey, I found a shortcut. Go me! It's a little brother character, and I want to say you give him a spear or something. I don't know, maybe I am doing that thing I do where I'm remembering the game as being better than it was, or I'm writing new elements of the game for the developers. Although with that said, I usually only end up doing that with, like, One-chan Bar and trashy shovelware like that. Now, the only other place he could be is off to the right, so I'm going to check that and then we're done. This is new. I never remember getting into a triple threat match like this. It's an awkward setup too. There is no optimal element here. It lets me talk about the sequel, though, so I guess there's that. So in Jade Cocoon 2, you have a ring of 8 slots around your character, and you can fill them up as you like. But you can only take 6 minions into the field. So you have to work out where you want to position your guys, so you can get a good spread to not only attack the enemies, but also protect yourself. It's a really interesting spin on the RPG combat thing, and I can't think of any other game that uses the system quite like it. But, on the other hand, once you actually play the game, you come to realise that there's probably a reason why no other game has combat like that. That was a dick move, man. Flesh to Stone is one of the nastiest status elements in the game. As the name suggests, nobody's skin is slowly turning to stone. In 5 turns, it will completely solidify and instantly KO him no matter what. I mean, it's basically a Doom from Final Fantasy in that respect. Now, as you've seen, not only does it kill you after a while, it screws with your stats while you're still alive. Like, it drops your attack and speed, specifically. And the fact that nobody, who is basically a bullet that walks on all fours, can't hit these guys, you can see how much of a huge debuff that is. And you know what? I'm going to do what I probably should have done to begin with. I'm going to tag in Trish. Because she has got an attack all enemies skill, and that's pretty much designed for this fight. So come on, Trish. Drop a train on. Yeah! I mean, I'm still at a tight disadvantage with that stupid barrel monster, but at the very least, we don't need to worry about status elements anymore. Oh, also, status elements only affect you while you're in battle. Like, nobody isn't going to turn to stone while he's waiting in the wings. And that's probably for the best, really, because I didn't bring Crowley with me, so it might take a while to beat this guy. Now I'm going to tag in Bod, let him get a bit of experience out of this. You know, I'm not too fussy about the type matchup for this one, because even though I was at a disadvantage with Trish, I wasn't doing particularly poorly. Oh, incidentally, this is the debut of the new look Lionel Frost, looking more like he did at the start of the playthrough, and a lot less like a weird black blob in a wizard outfit. That's just what he gets up to at the weekends. None of my business, really. Well, that was unexpected. So was the fight. It certainly kept me on my toes, I'll tell you that much. Worth it, though. I mean, the Ring of Stoning will help with much needed funds for the shop, and a Great Walnut is always welcome. Now, I'm just going to restock Trish's MP, because we might run into another multi-man melee like that in the future. I want her ready to kick some ass. So, yeah, the sequel pretty much always throws you against 3 enemies at a time, but the combat is a bit more balanced to take that into account. It's kind of a mediocre sequel, if I'm honest. It follows the same basic formula as this one. You explore 4 forests from a central hub. The main difference being the dungeons are procedurally generated, and you can tackle them in any order you like, so there's no real difficulty curve like there is in this game. Or in any other well-designed game, for that matter. Oh, how about that? We got Mabu's ring back. I feel less like a jerk now. And I'm sure the fact that the Nagi ring only reacts to my wearing it probably doesn't mean anything. Oh man, we just threw the title belt in the trash. That's a good way to get sued. And also the Montreal Screwjob. I like how this guy pretends to be a good guy who keeps his word to the god of the forest when he just sold him out for a shiny trinket. Still, it is befitting of his character, and I kinda like that. I mean, sometimes characters are just flawed, and there's nothing you can do to fix it. Now, I'm pretty sure I remember where the path to the tree is. It's that one path that we couldn't take because it was sealed off with mysterious energy. I love how that mantis thing just does not care. Most monsters will chase you down, but that guy, he's just chilling. Oh, and I see you, wandering dude. Yeah, you go, Lionard. You show that guy who's boss. Nice. If you compare Bod and Trish's stats, you can see how this game is balanced. And then you've got nobody at the end as sort of happy middle ground because he is the fastest thing on 4 legs. But I'm glad I found this shortcut. I would have taken the long route, and that's... I completely forgot that it was there, and in fairness, I do that in real life as well. You know, when I try to visualize a journey I have to take, I always skip out the middle bit, and it takes longer than I think it will. Like one time, I was in high school, I missed the bus home, I figured, no big deal, I'll walk it. It is a 5-mile walk. Not the smartest idea I've ever had. Ooh, I'm liking this part of the forest though. Pink and black, that's a good colour combination. It's out of the 80s, but it's one of those things that's still kinda cool. Like the word cool, appropriately enough. Because if you say that something is groovy, or fly, or hip, you're kinda dating yourself. But cool has been around forever, and it likely will be until somebody other than myself begins to use the word hoopy. And what do you know, it's the evolution of Scoot, my favourite monster in the game. Now I kinda predict that we're gonna see a prevalence of air types in the second half of the forest. Because fire types have been at a disadvantage for the whole first half, which is why I've mostly left Crowley at home, but now we're in part 2, I think we're suddenly gonna need him. Especially if nobody can't do a great deal of damage without the elemental helping hand. Wow, just try and pass that sentence to see what it looks like. I love that this guy's called Nobody. At least a hilariously bad sentence is like that. And it's also come to this, a DPS race. In my monster management game? More likely than you think. I think I'm going to catch this guy, even though he's not shown any desirable special moves, and I can outrun him just by doing standard attacks. I mean, I suppose that's what you get for, like, having legs and streamlined wings and a go faster stripe. You've got to have a go faster stripe. I mean, don't ask me to explain how it works. It just does, okay? It's like orcs and red vehicles. To that end, I always like the idea of having a superhero whose power is being massively psychic but not knowing it, so he places it somewhere else. Like he'd believe that he has a magical scarf, and his power makes it so, for example. Also, can we take a moment to appreciate that the arena in this battle was a subtly different colour to the ones in the first half of the forest? And I think they've only done it to mix up the visual design a bit, make it more interesting, but they didn't have to. And they didn't have to change the backgrounds just to follow suit. Now I think that log leads to progress. That is definitely a progress log. So we're gonna head this way, and maybe get some more levels. Maybe see if we can find some treasure as well. I like how, between treasure and EXP, I am now channeling the spirit of greed, since we had to bribe him twice to get this far. How's it going, guy? I don't think there's anything over here, save for a few minion encounters. Strange, because they modeled this huge area and everything. Oh. Well, I guess it's just for a key. Has every key description been different thus far? That's another attention to detail that I really like. Man, that fight kicked my ass. I think I need to head home and bring Crowley back in here, see if we can tip the scales in my favour. Yeah, I really need to head home. Ooh, a level. I love those. A level and a promotion. I am the Immaculate Cocoon Master. Alright, now, let's head this way. Oh man, look at this! This is some final boss room design. I really like that. Oh, and this? This is beautiful too. I want a wallpaper of that panorama. Huh. Well, I guess that wasn't a progression corridor. That's not too bad of a haul, though. Right, I am going to head home, rebalance my team, and tackle this place next time. So, until next time, goodbye!